First, I want to thank those of you from Impact that came up with the idea to have the drawing at the end. It's nice to still have a crowd here. I also said I would be here tonight as long as I did not find out who was voted off of American Idol. So if you have that information, please keep it to yourself. I will talk a little bit about the model that we have in place here at Oak Park River Forest High School. It's a support model. It's called the PSS, or Pupil Support Services model. It's basically made up of teams of 3 counselors, a resource manager, commonly known as social workers, and a dean. And despite what you might think, knowing that deans are in charge of discipline, they are very nice people. Now, I'm not just saying that because 2 of them are here tonight. They're easy to talk to, they're good listeners, and everybody on that team is somebody that the student can feel comfortable going to and confiding in. The Pupil Support Services team receives referrals from teachers, from coaches, from sponsors, from parents, and it's basically a problem-solving team, and it's a support team that can put into place interventions and action plans to help students be successful in school. They can also link students to community and school resources, including getting them involved in sports and clubs. Those are some of the best interventions that we have. The more students are involved at the school, the less they're likely to get into trouble or other bad things. I'm going to explain the role of those individuals that are on the PSS teams. First of all, there's a school counselor. Now, counselors are commonly known for creating schedules, doing academic planning, academic advising, writing letters of recommendation, going to them for scholarship information, college admission programs, but actually the largest part of their job is a mental health portion. They do provide social emotional services. They are trained mental health professionals, and they develop confidential relationships with students. Because their caseload is approximately 300 students, it's much smaller than that of the dean or the resource manager, which carry a caseload of around 900 to 1,000 students. And students are already there talking with their counselors on a regular basis, and a lot of times they will open up and confide in them and look for support and services that can be provided to them. The team does work very closely together, so if a student does open up to a dean or to a resource manager, they do communicate well with each other and can provide the wraparound services necessary for that student. There's also peer mediation and interventions and advocacy at the systemic level. School resource managers. This is a tricky name because it's an outsourced position in a partnership with Thrive Community Agency. A lot of the resource managers are known commonly at schools as social workers. The resource managers we have here are certified mental health therapists. They're master's level in either social work or counseling. They mainly focus on the social emotional aspect of a student's success, and they provide those supports and link them to community resources necessary. In addition, we have about 15 groups, support groups, running here at the school. I'll briefly run through some of them. We have anger management, anxiety, divorce, a freshman group, a girls group, a boys group, grief and loss, self-esteem, substance abuse, survivor groups. They are running groups nonstop, and they're constantly accepting referrals from teachers, from parents, from the PSS community team members. In addition to that PSS model, on all the teams we have a substance abuse counselor, and our certified drug and alcohol counselor unfortunately is leaving us at the end of this year. So that's going to leave a huge void here in the school. It's Margot, she's on the panel. And Jenny, if you have your resume with you and you want to drop that off, then I'll be sitting right up here at the end, so let me know. But what our substance abuse counselor does is she focuses on prevention and intervention. Margot's in charge of the Red Ribbon Week. That was, and I said that without saying it with all W's, that's great. Red Ribbon Week and other intervention programs. She provides in-services for teachers. She goes into classrooms through certain curricular areas to discuss with students the effects of basically any kind of addiction, not only substance abuse, but also gaming, texting, all kinds, any addiction that you want to think about. Margot's a specialist in it. She is going to private practice. I recommend her in the future if anybody's looking for somebody. You're welcome. You're welcome. A new pilot that we tried out this year was a link directly to, or a way to link students directly to Thrive for outside support programs. We have the Thrive youth and family therapist that comes here once a week. And what we do is we try to link any students that need support or counseling or therapy services outside of school in the community with that youth and family therapist. That way they are linked to that community resource, and they'll feel more comfortable and open to receiving that therapy outside of the school setting. I think that's about all I have. Oh, one stat I wanted to mention with the substance abuse counseling that is occurring here. Margot had a caseload so far, she has seen, as far as who was referred to her, of about 183 students for substance abuse issues. Of those 183 students, approximately 85% of them were referred to her prior to them receiving any kind of disciplinary infraction. So only 23 of those students had received a disciplinary infraction, and that was the reason why they were referred to her. So there was a lot of good work going on there, and I'd like to think that that prevented those students from receiving disciplinary consequences in the future. But also another thing we're doing is sending out a needs assessment to the community, so I expect you all to check your email or respond to our website. And this is a needs assessment that we have given to all freshmen this year so far. It'll be sent to all students, and we hope to hit the whole staff, community, and student population with this needs assessment so we can focus our services a little more directly. Thanks for your attention.